They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Here we go. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double up. Double up.
Check.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I'm here all day. Hey, alert 3. These two. Watch it.
Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Like 20.
Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who throw it.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. They held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal.
Hey, alert!
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger.
Let's go, tighten up.
And it's caught. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go, Ford. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball. And that way, you often control the game.
Kill. Hey, turn it out. No. Off.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
Throwing on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And now it's second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's go now. Go to base. Let's go, baby. We turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Jackson's pass, intended for Seth Roberts, incomplete.
Here's Sam Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger's had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heels of a 6-touchdown performance in a win over Indianapolis the week prior. So October of 2014 was kind to Big Ben.
First down, Pittsburgh.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check safety, check safety.
Take both of them. No spacing.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And an alley to run. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
At the 26-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd and short.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Alert, alert. Bang. Here we go, here we go. Why are they stuck?
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Matt Judon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Too little, shoot. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Shoot, grab.
From the gun, it's Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Bang. Undercrunch.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st down, Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Corey Grant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
He took you to school.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, alert, Black.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Washington's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He'll dump this one off to Connor. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Letting one go. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, G.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Right there, you look, 55. Hey, 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 hey. 36, 36. Okay.
Check 24. Watch 24.
Now Jackson on first down. He's going deep for Brown. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. Screen pass to Connor. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
A good pickup there at 22.
Like 80. Easy.
Check 41. Watch the slant.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line.
A gain of 13 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here we go.
Roethlisberger coming up with a first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, Make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Monday. 25. Check 20. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Ben to throw again. Complete to Washington. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. Now Roethlisberger will head to the line as his guys will go for 2.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
40's mine. 40's mine. Down to lose 1.
Now it's Roethlisberger to the goal line, but it's incomplete. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20. 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return, as his guys have now moved out in front. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Now Jackson. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The drive will start with Connor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 23-yard line.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Steeler first down.
Roethlisberger now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Conner. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to Conner. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Let's go.
Roethlisberger. And that's off the mark, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Hey, box drop.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Ready? Wide 80.
40's a month. 40's a
No
month.
foul.
Check 43. Show him that.
X3. 218. Chop. 44.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And caught it up, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Grant. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Or is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitch?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip, right? And now, look out.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit different look on the game at this point.
Big momentum swing here in the 4th on the punt fumble. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And he finds McDonald. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. This is caught. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw here, Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 42 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Okay, 26 months. Man, I got you. Man.
Ingram again. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Back. Where'd he go?
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Check three. What? Go.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Check three.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 2nd down, it's Ingram, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This for the lead in the final stages. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
At their 49-yard line.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Got it.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson to throw again. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and
2. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is brought in at the 21. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2.
Steelers.
Start! Like 5!
Check.
Hey, 4-1 Mike. Snickers, gotta spin.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it.
2nd and 10. At the 44-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
3 down.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ingram, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Silver. 57's the mic. Watch 57. It's just me and you. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Hey, check 24.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got Snead. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That good for 22 and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. On second down, Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Let's go.
So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Ravens, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host